I think we also have to say that this piece, the Women's Pentagon Action Unity Statement, is a marvel in itself. It had been put together, as probably very few of you don't know, from a great deal of input from many, many women. And as soon as it was laid out to begin with, more input was given and more changes were made. And still it came out to be a statement of great strength and understanding and also beauty. There aren't very many political statements of that nature, right? So I will read this, and also it is nice to have it read because Nesta participated in it a lot, was very close to Grace while they were working on this. Okay. For 2 years we have gathered at the Pentagon because we fear for our lives. We still fear for the life of this planet, our Earth, and the life of the children who are our human future. We are women who come in most part from the northeastern region of our United States. We are city women who know the wreckage and fear of city streets. We are country women who grieve the loss of the small farm and have lived on the poisoned earth. We are young and older, we are married, single, lesbian. We live in different kinds of households, in groups, families, alone. Some are single parents. We work at a variety of jobs. We are students, teachers, factory workers, office workers, lawyers, farmers, doctors, builders, waitresses, weavers, poets, engineers, home workers, electricians, artists, blacksmiths. We are all daughters and sisters. We came to mourn and rage and defy the Pentagon because it is the workplace of the imperial power which threatens us all. Every day, while we work, study, love, the colonels and generals who are planning our annihilation walk calmly in and out the doors of its 5 sides. They have accumulated over 30,000 nuclear bombs at the rate of 3 to 6 bombs every day, and that's a while back. They are determined to produce the billion-dollar MX missile. They are creating a technology called stealth, the invisible, unperceivable arsenal. They have revived the cruel old killer nerve gas. They have proclaimed Directive 59, which asks for small nuclear wars prolonged but limited. The Soviet Union works hard to keep up with the United States initiatives. We can destroy each other's cities, towns, schools, children, many times over. The United States has sent advisors, money, and arms to El Salvador and Guatemala to enable those juntas to massacre their own people. The very same men, the same legislative committees that offered trillions of dollars to the Pentagon have brutally cut daycare, children's lunches, battered women's shelters. The same men have concocted the Family Protection Act, which will mandate the strictly patriarchal family and thrust federal authority into the lives we live in our own homes. In this environment of contempt and violence, racism, women-hating, and the old European habit of Jew hatred called anti-Semitism, all find their old roots and grow. We are in the hands of men whose power and wealth have separated them from the reality of daily life and from the imagination. We are right to be afraid. At the same time, our cities are in ruins, bankrupt. They suffer the devastation of war. Hospitals are closed. Our schools deprived of books and teachers. Our Black and Latino youth are without decent work. They will be forced, drafted to become the cannon fodder for the very power that oppresses them. Whatever help the poor received is cut or withdrawn to feed the Pentagon, which needs about $500 million a day for its murderous health. With this wealth, our scientists have been corrupted. Over 40% work in government and corporate laboratories that refine the methods for destroying or deforming life. The president has just decided to produce the neutron bomb, which kills people but leaves property, buildings like this one, intact. There's fear among the people. And that fear, created by the industrial militarists, is used as an excuse to accelerate the arms race. We will protect you, they say, but we have never been so endangered, so close to the end of human time. We women are gathering because life on the presses is intolerable. We want to know what anger in these men, what fear that can be only satisfied by destruction, what coldness of heart and ambition drives these days. I'm skipping a little bit. What is it that we women need for our ordinary lives? That we want for ourselves and also for our sisters in new nations and old colonies who suffer the white man's exploitation and too often the oppression by their own countrymen. We want enough food, decent houses, communities with clean air and water, good care for our children while we work. We want work that is useful to a sensible society. There is a modest technology to minimize drudgery and restore joy to labor. We are determined to use skills and knowledge from which we have been excluded, like plumbing or engineering or physics or composting or composing. We intend to form women's groups or unions that will demand safe workplaces, free of sexual harassment, equal pay for work of comparable value. We want health care, which respects and understands our bodies. Physically challenged sisters must have access to gatherings, actions, happy events, work. We want an education for children which tells the true stories of our women's lives, which describe the earth as our home to be cherished, to be fed as well as harvested. We want to be free from violence in our streets and our houses. 1 in every 3 of us will be raped in her lifetime. The pervasive social power of the masculine ideal and the greed of the pornographer have come together to steal our freedom, so that whole neighborhoods and the life of the evening and night have been taken from us. For too many women, the dark country road and the city alley have concealed the rapist. We want the night returned, the light of the moon, special in the cycle of our female lives, the stars and the gaiety of the city streets. We want the right to have or not to have children. We do not want gangs of politicians and medical men to say that we must be sterilized for the country's good. We want to be free to love whomever we choose. We will live with women or with men, or we will live alone. We will not allow the oppression of lesbians. One sex or one sexual preference must not dominate another. We do not want to be drafted into the army. We do not want our young brothers drafted. We want them equal with us. We want to see the pathology of racism ended in our time. It has been the imperial arrogance of white male power that has separated us from the suffering and wisdom of our sisters in Asia, Africa, South America, and in our own country. We want an end to the arms race, no more bombs, no more amazing inventions for death. We understand all is connectedness. The earth nourishes us as we, with our bodies, will eventually feed it. Through us, our mothers connected the human past to the human future. We know the life and work of animals and plants in seeding, reseeding, and in fact simply inhabiting this planet. Their exploitation and the organized destruction of never-to-be-seen again species threatens and sorrows us. With that sense, that ecological right, we oppose the financial connections between the Pentagon and the multinational corporations and banks that the Pentagon serves. Those connections are made of gold and oil. We are made of blood and bone. We are made of the sweet and finite resource, water. We will not allow these violent games to continue. If we are here in our stubborn thousands today, we will certainly return in the hundreds of thousands in the months and years to come. We know there is a healthy, sensible, loving way to live, and we intend to live that way in our neighborhoods and our farms, in these United States, and among our sisters and brothers in all the countries of the world. That was written in 1982.